Now I'm going to show you a number of questions that may come up when simplifying algebraic expressions. Remember the rule, like terms with like terms. Therefore, we can only add and subtract like terms. In the first example, we have 4x minus 3x and a minus 2x. 4x minus 3x gives me 1x, minus 2x will give me minus 1x. Then we have plus 4y plus 3y plus 4y. 4y plus 3y is 7y, plus 4y is plus 11y. Now have a go at the second question yourself. When we see brackets in our question, that means we must multiply the number outside the brackets by whatever's inside the brackets. So for example, question 1, 2 by x gives me 2x. 2 by plus 2 will give me plus 4. Now try the second question yourself. We can also be asked to remove the brackets and simplify in the following question. In a question where we have two statements in two brackets, the best thing to do is to split the very first bracket. So y multiply by the second bracket, y minus 4, and then take the second statement, minus 2, and again multiply it by the second bracket, minus 4. Then we go ahead and multiply, so y by y gives me y squared. Remember the rule, add the indices, so we have to imagine that there is a 1 on each of those. Y by 4 gives me minus 4y. Minus 2 by y gives me minus 2y. Minus 2 by minus 4 gives me a plus 8. Remember the rule, minus by minus gives me a plus. Simplifying that equation, y squared minus 4y minus 2y gives me minus 6y, and we just have a plus 8. We could also be asked a question like the above, which means to remove the brackets and simplify. 2a minus 1, all in brackets to be squared, can be simply rewritten as 2a minus 1 in brackets multiplied by 2a minus 1 in brackets. Now we go ahead and do the steps that we did in the previous slide. So split the first bracket, 2a, all by the second bracket, 2a minus 1. Take the second statement, minus 1, all by 2a minus 1. Okay, let's go ahead and multiply. 2a multiplied by 2a, well 2 by 2 is 4, and a multiplied by a is a squared. 2a by minus 1 gives me minus 2a. Minus 1 by 2a gives me minus 2a. And minus 1 by minus 1 gives me a plus 1. Simplifying, we get 4a squared minus 2a and minus 2a will give me minus 4a. Remember, we're subtracting them, not multiplying them. And we're left with plus 1. If we are asked to solve for x, remember the rule, letters to the left, numbers to the right. So, looking at the very first question, I want this plus 12 to go over the far side. So I'm left with 3x equals to 21, doesn't move. If we move plus 12 over the far side, we get minus 12. We get 3x is equal to 9. Therefore x, divide both sides by 3 to get x is equal to 3. Alternatively, I showed you another method of how to do this. So our aim is to get that 4a on its own. What we can do is add 4 to both sides to get rid of the minus 4 on the left hand side. Now, remember the rule, whatever we do to the left, we must do to the right. So, they will cancel. I'll get 4a is equal to 20 plus 4 is 24. Divide both sides by 4 to find out what a is equal to. A is equal to 6. You may use whatever method you're most comfortable with. Remember the rule for question 12 and 20 here. Remember the rule, letters to the left, numbers to the right. So looking at this, I want to move this 4x over this side. And I also want to move this plus 8 over this side. So moving the first one, I get 5x. Moving it across, it becomes a minus 4x is equal to 10. Moving the plus 8 across, it becomes minus 8. 5x minus 4x gives me x, or 1x, is equal to 10 minus 8 equals 2. On the other side, I want to move this minus 4 across. And I also want to move this minus 5b across. So doing that, I get minus 2b. Minus 5b moves across and becomes plus 5b is equal to minus 25. And minus 4 moves across and becomes plus 4. Minus 2b plus 5b gives me 3b. Minus 25 plus 4 gives me minus 21. Divide both sides by 3. And I get b is equal to minus 7. Finally, you could also be asked to solve for x, but that may include a little bit of simplifying beforehand. So, in the above example here, I have 4 by x, which gives me 4x, 4 by 2, which gives me plus 8, is equal to 3 by x gives me 3x, 3 by 2 gives me plus 6. Now we need to get our letters to the left and our numbers to the right. So moving 3x across, and we're going to move plus 8 across this way. So that's going to become 4x minus 3x is equal to 6 minus 8. Remember, when it moves across the equal sign, it becomes the opposite sign to what it was. 4x minus 3x gives me x. 6 minus 8 gives me minus 2. Similarly, on this side, we have 2 by x gives me 2x. 2 by minus 2 gives me minus 4 equals to 2. 3 by 2x gives me 6x. 3 by 4 gives me plus 12. So now I have 6x on this side, I want to move it over. Minus 4 on this side, and I want to move that over. So I get 2x plus 6x becomes minus 6x. I leave plus 12 on that side. And minus 4 now becomes plus 4. Okay, so simplifying. 2x minus 6x gives me minus 4x equals to 12 plus 4 is 16. Divide both sides by minus 4. And I'll get x is equal to minus 4. So these are all examples of questions which you can be asked when you're asked to simplify algebraic expressions. And also if you're asked to solve for x, often you'll have to simplify first before you solve.